Hi guys, we are running late today, a bit technical issue. Let me just... Hi, tonight very happy we have Ceymone from NutraFit. She's a dietitian. Uh, so let her
Oh,
Hi
sorry, there
Ceymone.
was a lag.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't know when to reply. Yeah, so today I'm going to talk about the most hot topic that I think everybody is searching up now, like what's the best diet for me, especially when you're going through stress. And like even with MCO, it does not only bring an impact in terms of our job, but also how we run our lives. Like for someone like, especially like me, who is very, very active, who go out a lot, and most of my sports are outdoors. Now it's just transitioning to being indoors, confined in my room or in my house, and just changing up the activity. So definitely in the terms of food choices as well, it changes too. On the way how I buy things because of the MCO, we are restricted in so many movements where I don't go out often, and grocery shopping is also a challenge. So many people are asking, okay, what's the best kind of diet or what should I do? And even with this change of my lifestyle, um, what changes is good for me and what's not good for me. So I think a lot of people that I think the main focus is also those who are going through a very tough time, stress, and like stressfulness through the work, and then someone when you're confined in your home room, you're working from home, you definitely would snack a lot, or your sleeping hours will change, and some of them will go through like stress eating. So I think another topic we can also focus on is how diet and mental health play a role as well. Because if you look at it in the point of view that our brains take 2% of our total body weight, but it takes 20% of energy of the total calorie that we need, and that shows that nutrition for our mind is very, very important, and taking care of our own mental well-being is something very important as well. So with that, it's like we have to understand how diet can greatly impact our own not only physical health but mental health as well. Because when you're in a bad mood, you will lead into having a bad diet, and with that, you'll worsen the mood by gaining more weight. But on the good side is, diet can also help to improve your mental health and also your physical health as well. Where psychologically, like chemicals in food like sugar, cacao, in chocolates, does trigger the feel-good hormones called dopamine, and they make us feel good. But the key fundamental importance is to not rely on comfort food to relieve this emotional burden by overindulging things, because definitely it will add on to our waistline. So coming to that, there are also, we have to look at things and how a person's diet is determined, like how your lifestyle and how everybody's lifestyle is determined through many, many factors, where like we have to understand that what are the determinants that can affect your food choices. So of course the key driver of us eating is through hunger, but what chooses us to choose those food is not necessary from the nutrient needs or our physiological needs. There are many determinants that can result into why you chose this diet or why you chose this particular food. It could be biological, economical, physical, whether or not you have the knowledge, accessibility, or the skills to actually prepare your food. Social determinants, like for example, this MCO, whether or not you're with your friends or family, that will change the way of your choice of food and the way you eat. And the psychological part, where how your mood changes, how the stress, whether or not you're feeling down or feeling very happy, and how your attitudes and beliefs or cultural feeling about food. So I'll put an example. if you are educated in nutrition, but you struggle in eating healthy, and with your busy work schedule, you'll understand that, okay, with this time constraint, preparing my own food or preparing my diet is a limited factor, but you'll try ways to time manage and find healthy food options in your working space. So eventually, it's all down to your own behavior and your attitude to change up your own diet. So that's just the introduction of how is diet important and how diet is important to your mental health. So to boil it down, I'll put it into 3 important qualities that we have to look at when it comes to dieting during MCO. Very first of all is to change the quality of our diet. So what I mean that is to ensure your diet it's nutrient dense, when it's rich in fruits and vegetables, whole grains, legumes, good quality protein, low in fat, and low in processed foods. So besides all these whole foods, we also have to look at our probiotics, our prebiotics, and the fiber, where it promotes a diverse population of good bacteria in the gut, and it plays an important role not only helping to uplift our mood, but also to boost our immune system, and this will also prevent us from gaining that extra inch on our waistline. So that being said, when you go grocery shopping, we have to be more mindful in the way of how we choose our food. So for example, adding more vegetables and fruits. Definitely, if we are buying a weekly or 2 weeks worth of groceries, we want to look at longer shelf life vegetables, such as cabbage, carrots, long beans. Or if you want to have leafy vegetables, that's where you would finish the leafy vegetables first. And quality of protein is very important as well. But if, let's say, meat is not accessible so easily, we can always opt for alternatives such as tofu, fish, legumes, or beans. And the occasional canned food is also recommended, but we have to also be aware that canned food does contain high in fat and salt. So one tip that I would recommend is when you buy all these canned food, you can always drain it away, drain out the liquids away, and you can wash it off. Like especially when you buy canned beans or canned tuna, you can always opt for the fish kind. Yeah.
But how about the sardine? There's a sauce behind, so people just boil it and cook it. Is it recommend to take away the sauce, make your own sauce, or how?
You can use it, but at the end of the day, it's also how we're gonna change our meal patterns in terms of the portion size. Okay. I believe that we wouldn't want to eat canned sardine for like every single meal for the rest of the day. So another important tip is to also plan your meals, because since we are unable to go out, might as well we can cook at home, spend more time to cook at home and plan our meals properly. So planning our meals means we have to sit down, spend time, and write down what are we going to cook. Because I don't think we're going to cook that chicken breast with broccoli for lunch and dinner for the whole week, just like that. So you have to plan one budget, budget your weekly grocery, and then 2 is to go according to like what's your plan. So what I recommend is when you buy your ingredients, try to make sure it's like a must-have, like your favorite kind of foods. List down your favorite kind of food so that you can also use it throughout the week. So if let's say work has been busy or you just don't feel like going out to buy groceries, at least you have some stock at home of your favorite food that is a healthier option that you can still prepare.
Okay, wait. A food must-have. Guys, please comment. What is the food must-have for your grocery shopping? Please comment. I want to know, okay? So that our digestion. So you don't put KFC, okay? The food for cook, okay?
Food that you can cook. Another thing I would also recommend, because some people always think like, when you go grocery shopping, right? Or when you prepare your own meal, or healthy meals are always expensive. People always have that thinking, right? Like healthy meals are always expensive, but actually it's not. If you really calculate and plan your diet, your meal plans, the whole week of groceries, you can actually save up a lot, because you're gonna save up on the delivery fees, and like especially when you go out, like like the food that you buy is definitely usually more expensive. I think you have a question that popped up.
my friend asked me, so what do I cook? Okay, basically I cook myself breakfast because I think morning usually I cook egg and sometimes some udons like that, mix and mash. Sometimes it depends. But mostly egg because easy to make, right? And with the bread and with the milk. So I think that's the simple breakfast. But starting for the first 1 week and 2 weeks, actually, I don't really cook. I go pack foods because lazy to cook. But after for a while, you the noodles. So you start to get tired. So then I start to think, hey, what can I cook today? So what do I have in the fridge? Or eggs, bread. So it really trigger out your creativity, you know. So yeah, you start to cook. So yeah.
Yeah. Pro tip for new cooks out there who are just starting out to cook. Find a recipe that is not only cheap and simple, but can cook within the pot. Because sometimes with new cooks, right, people don't really have much equipment. So looking for like one pot recipes, it's a good start. Like you can cook pasta, fried rice, stew, all these kind of simple recipes. It's all in one pot, and you have all the nutrients that you need in there, like your protein, carbs, and fats. So it shouldn't run away from that too. Then the other thing is also to focus on your meal patterns as well. Because I understand a lot of people out there have been like snacking a lot, especially at home. Snack is abundant. Like you can just you can just sit there and do work and still eat. Well, as a recommendation, because snacking is not to say a bad thing. It's the type of food that you actually eat. So a better alternative is to cultivate a new habit of changing those, high fat, high sugar foods into something healthier to help you maintain the calories that you need and also some munching. Another pro tip is if you are a fan of peppermint, you can actually sip peppermint tea, or if you have peppermint essential oils, you can actually like dab it on your forehead or just smell it. It actually triggers your brain to release satiety hormones. That means the feeling of fullness through it by drinking these peppermint teas.
Wow. Okay. So we have a question here, Wei Ling. Chicken is cooking with high heat, like frying, very harmful. Is it very harmful?
Harmful in a sense where what way depends on the oil. That if you're cooking with olive oil, like you're frying with olive oil, that one is definitely harmful because it's carcinogenic. But when it comes to harmful in terms of for your weight, I would say yes, because if you're focusing on maintaining your weight or losing weight, frying foods contains high in fat. So that's something we want to control. Not to say you have to avoid it immediately, like from your diet. It's just if you're a person that eats like every single day fried food, then it's time to consider to cut it down to maybe once a week. Because I believe we're all humans, so we definitely would love to have that occasional indulgence.
Yeah. How about those like air fried? What do you think about air fried? Is it unhealthy or what it's for under to? Have you tried any air fried chicken?
Yes, I did. It's very crispy, delicious in a way. Everybody would love the fried food. At the end of the day, it's always moderation, I would say. You can still enjoy all this food. And, they always say that having too much of everything, even for the good ones, are never good for you. So moderation is always key.
So you guys still can eat fried chicken once in the blue moon, huh? Okay.
Yes. Don't worry about it, guys.
It's not the body to consume. It's like a brain to make you happy, those kind of things, right? Kind of compliment.
Yeah, like what I mentioned just now, sometimes food does boost our mood and keep us a little bit happier. But we also have to be aware of not overdoing it, because sometimes it does cause a vicious cycle where once you are stressed or sad, right, you immediately turn to sweet food. Sometimes, it will cause a very sad relationship with food where when I'm sad, I must turn to food. Where sometimes you can always opt for different alternatives to actually calm yourself or calm your mind. Sometimes smelling essential oils, meditating or taking a walk or stroll. I mean, now with MCO, it's just more like, meditating, do a short workout, or talking to someone, or enjoying a video rather than turning into food immediately.
Agree.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Do you have any comment, guys? You feel free to ask any question regarding nutrition and also maybe a little bit diet questions or what kind of food you guys intake takes. What is the must? The when they go grocery, what the food you must have on? You can also comment here. Yes.
Or any recipes you want to suggest for people to try during this MCO, because I think another important thing we have to look at is to also cultivate a healthy habit. Since we're already, at home most of the time, why not we try to pick up a good, healthy alternative? Like for me, in terms of like mental health, I started picking up meditation.
So what kind of meditation?
I just, to just ground myself in the morning before I start doing anything. So meditation helps me to, calm down, and rather than just like, very stressed, I must have coffee. Before that, whenever I stress, I'll just turn to coffee and just keep on drinking coffee. So now I'm changing that into meditating, where every morning I'll have like 5 to 10 minutes just to sit there and meditate, ground myself, tell myself what's important, and then after that I just go. So tip 2 is to cultivate healthy habits.
Okay. It's like kind of like everyday routines. Like say, for example, you woke up earlier, you prepare things, meditations, you did something. So you have enough time to prepare the things so that you don't rush. Also, you don't stress yourself out. I understand that currently the MCO, just now I just talked to one of my friend. She worked in a bank. And what's the current situation is she need to travel 40 kilometers to the office and come back 40 kilometers. She take Grab. But luckily, the company can claim back. Wow, I think you are doing a ultra marathon already. 40 kilometers going there, 40 meters going back. Every day, she work about mental and physical is very tired. So I'm gonna talk to her tomorrow.
Yeah, I believe like when it comes to tough times like this, having a friend to talk to is important. And what's best is once you cultivate, being there for each other, it builds stronger relationships. And not only when you have these new healthy habits, it will definitely stick by you. And even after this MCO is lifted, you will still continue on this good practice as well.
Yep. Good. So, okay, what we have here is NutraFit. They're giving out a free meal portion sheet. Please comment NutraFit, okay? NutraFit. Comment NutraFit, you get a free meal portions.
Yes, sheets, and we are also available on Instagram, so you can check us out. And you can also tag your friends who is interested for weight loss, or want to find out more about health and diet. You can always check us out on our Instagram and follow us.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So just want to share about the tips, about the first tips, second tips. So the total three tips you share about it, right?
The last tip I will give is when I mentioned about cooking. When someone is starting to cook themselves, is just to get used to home cooked food, because sometimes these foods are like, we would say one is definitely a healthier option because you are controlling what is on your plate. So your taste buds will get customized to a milder taste. Because, in Malaysia, when it comes to Malaysian food, the taste of food outside there is just strong in flavors, and it comes with high in sugar, fat, and salt. So studies have shown that your taste bud sensitivity will change in time, like according to time. And your taste perception actually differs with one individual to another. So once you're preparing, your own home cooked meals and home cooked recipes, definitely is lesser in salt, lesser in sugar, and lesser in fat. So so once you go outside and after this MCO, you'll be surprised actually on how, how salty or how extra sweet outside food actually are. So that's where you can tell.
I think after MCO, a lot of people will pack their own the lunch box to go to office already. So yeah, I think that will happen. Okay. So okay, easy to cook, yummy food for MCO. easy to cook yummy food for MCO? It's a question.
Well, depends on how much time you have. Like I recommended just now that you can always go search up on one pot recipes or easy recipes. Like sometimes you can even search up for like 5 ingredients recipes. For me, I would recommend, like if you're new, you can always try pasta, or you can always try fried rice.
Pasta is kind of easy for me, What I do is just buy the pasta and the sauce, just pour in, then done.
Yeah. And if you want to up the notch, people are very into baking now. People are making their own bread and create like banana breads, their own sourdough bread. These are also very challenging ones.
Try to click this one. Wait. Okay, can try preparing one pot tomato rice in the rice cooker. Super easy. Yes. Yeah. So you can eat for lunch and dinner.
Yes.
But after few more days, you won't take any tomato sauce or tomato ingredient anymore because every day is the same.
Yeah. Or sometimes if you have the same like type of food every day, right? Let's say like the tomato rice, for example, you can always mix it up with different ingredients. Like let's say the tomato rice itself, usually it goes well with sardine. Or sometimes you can mix it up with like, having the vegetables or eggs, or just topping up with different variety of food just to expand your taste buds as well.
Yep. So when they ask, Asian like to eat rice. So what is the good portion of rice for each meal? What is your recommend?
So my recommendation is usually a small Chinese rice, no Chinese rice bowl. Or if let's go by sendok, for example, most people use scoops. So 3 flat sendoks for every main meal. That's what I recommend.
Okay. So wow. Mandip say he make pizza. Wow.
Oh, good for you. That's really good.
Not easy to make pizza, okay?
Yeah.
Today I saw my mother-in-law making pizza. So he's like making all those preparations. I think, wow, take a lot of time.
Yeah, and if you make your own pizza, you can even add your own ingredients, what you want to put in there. Because sometimes if you order pizza, right, they'll give you very little like ingredients, or sometimes like a lot of processed meat, or just cheese like that, or tomato sauce. So adding like more mushrooms or more like lean meats onto it just makes it more healthier.
Yeah, you can make the like a nasi lemak favorites, or maybe durian favorite. I don't know.
Yeah.
Durian favorite. Hey guys, please try durian favorites. Let me know is it good or not. Okay, although I don't take durian, but
I tried jackfruit pizza before.
Food. You make your own, or you order?
No. I ordered.
You order. Okay. I think Malaysia is one of the countries that have the most variety and fusion food versus other countries. You can find Japanese food here, Western food here, Indian food here, Chinese food here. So, and even now the mix it's become fusion. Now it's kind of a thing, right? It's a fusions. This. Sometimes I'm having a laksa, but it don't taste like a laksa. It tastes like nasi lemak, something like that. So it's like, okay.
It's
kind of weird, but it's an in thing now.
Yeah, there's always food trends out there. So always, every time, be mindful of what your choices of food are. What is good. You have to, I think, based on the social determinants that we are around, we have to also be mindful of like what is good for you and what is not good for you. That's very important.
Yeah. I also noticed that most of the people's they like to the taste more than they don't care what they eat. They just care about the taste, the look, most important. So I guess that need to be balanced. Good taste, but good nutrition.
Yeah. Because I think a lot of people, when they see healthy food, also not only is expensive, but also tasteless or too clean. But actually, you can always, spice up or change the taste of food. Like, because sometimes, okay, for example, the very basic clean food that people will eat is just steamed chicken breast with broccoli and like rice. So to add to that, right, you can always add spices or herbs into your, like when you make your chicken, because spices and herbs does not contain much calories, or I would say negligible calories. So it makes the food taste nicer. And another tip is when you cook, like, let's say chicken, right? Like chicken or like roast vegetables, you can always cook it together so the whole flavor mash up together so it tastes nicer.
Okay,
Yeah.
there's a question in my Facebook page. Luckily, I take a look. Why can't what is this?
Sorry, I didn't hear.
No, it's one of the friends say, YK say, after MCO, I will continue to drink milkshake banana. Yeah. Yeah, then he said, I forgot how pisang goreng tastes like already. Which is true. I think due to current MCO situations, there's a lot of food variety. I think very limited lah. I would say some they're not even open. I think we can mainly. I think breakfast you can still easy to buy, but some of the food is really you need to cook yourself. I think most of the people they cook themselves.
Yeah. And I think when you cook the food yourself, you can always experiment on how to make it healthier. Like for me, I'm currently craving for fries. And fries is definitely high in fat. So what I'm doing, which I'm going to prepare my dinner tomorrow, is that I'm going to oven bake my fries. I'm going to buy potatoes and I'm going to oven bake them. So it's definitely lesser in fat. And I can control the salt and whatever herbs I want to put inside. So actually, if you, let's say, crave for the food that you want to eat, like pisang goreng or you know, all these things that you can get outside, you can always search on the internet on a healthier option. Like, you know, instead of santan, you can replace it with milk, and you never know, it may turn out actually pretty nice.
Yeah, there's one question here. Not too sure if this happened. Has been asked. How do we curb sugar cravings? I guess this the most of the ladies want to know the secret, right? So to me, let me just share my opinion. I'm not a sugar person, so most of the time the coffee is there's no sugar, no milk, and when I go out, I seldom eat dessert, and yeah, that's me lah. That's me. So, what do you think, Ceymone?
For me, I'm a sweet tooth, and it usually really depends on my mood when I crave for sweet things. So sometimes it's like when I'm sad or down, I would really crave for sweet stuff, and even when I'm stressed. So what I'll recommend is, instead of just turning into like sweets, chocolates, or ice creams that are really high in sugar and definitely does not contain much nutrition value, why not? You can opt for fruits. Fruits are a good option. One, yeah, it tastes sweet, but don't worry, the sugar won't like add on to your, you know, weight, because these fruits are actually low in calorie, high in fiber, and packed with all the nutrients like vitamins that you need for your body. So it's a better alternative. Or like I recommend, if you want to, you know, curb your cravings, I would recommend you can chew those sugar-free or calorie-free gum, or you can sip on peppermint tea. Those are the things that can help.
Oh, okay. But let's say I just take examples that if let's say they don't take any like the artificial sugars things outside already, just take a fruit, right? Whether the fruit sugar will make them, is it hyper also? Something like that.
Hyper in terms of
because they eat those like wafer ice creams. So the food, is it produce the similar things also? They will get it.
Oh, okay, I understand. Yeah. No, because of the fiber, it helps, you know, like the glycemic index will help to bring, like the fiber will help to bring down the sugar, so it doesn't give that sudden spike where you get like super hyperactive. Or sometimes when people eat very high in sweet foods, they would, you know, tend to like food coma because of the blood sugar suddenly rise.
Yeah, high carbs as well. After the lunchtime, you take a lot of rice, right?
Yeah.
The next one, you're gonna suffer.
Yeah. So with fiber, it helps to, you know, bring down your blood, like control your blood sugar. It doesn't shoot up like a rocket. It just gradually goes up and can manage better.
Okay. So here's a question here. Wai Ling, for seasonal runners, what food or vegetables do you recommend to keep away inflammation? I'm not sure anyone asked you this question before. Any?
Usually, in general, we would just recommend, like, as long as you eat all your fruits and vegetables in the right proportion. And to be specific for inflammation, I guess it's omega-3. Omega-3, having at least 2 servings of fish a week can actually help to manage. If let's say you do not have any omega-3 supplements, you can always opt for just natural food rich in omega-3, such as fish, sardine, nuts, flax seeds.
Okay, omega-3. So got the answer, omega-3. Okay, we have one more questions. Is artificial sweetened soda like Diet Coke good replacement for regular soda?
Yes, I receive a lot of questions on that before.
Okay, this triggered me. Yeah. Okay.
What do you think? You have an opinion on that?
I think any. Okay lah. I put it this way. Just like artificial, those no sugar, what Coke Zero, those still will have some artificials. I think. Again, you cannot take more. I think once a while is still okay for me lah. This is just my opinion. Yeah.
Okay, that's
what do you think?
I do agree as well. So definitely artificial sweetened sugars will not affect your blood glucose levels, like your blood sugar levels, especially people who has diabetes. So the reason why they will actually go for these artificial sweeteners is, especially people who has blood sugar issues, they will just want to have that occasional sweet taste for them. So this is something that I wouldn't mind them, occasionally, to just curb the cravings. Drinking that is fine. But at the end of the day, we want to also limit ourselves with sweet foods in general. So you can still take those artificial sodas if you just crave for it, but I wouldn't say you have it as like a daily drink. So it's limiting the sugar as well lah. Because at the end of the day, these sugars does not provide any nutrient values to your body. It's just added calories or added sugars. Rather than, if you, let's say, make your own smoothies, you eat a fruit, it contains more nutrients than that for your body needs. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, next question. I think this is most of the people will ask one. Any suggestion for supper?
Late supper. Well, I would say, like a lot of people say, oh, supper is not good for you. There's a reason for that. Because imagine if the whole day you have all your 3 main meals and your 2 snacks, meaning you have the enough amount of calories that you have for the day just to maintain your weight and to prevent weight gain. And I believe like everybody would tend to sleep late. So let's say your last meal is 7 o'clock, and it takes 3 to 4 hours for your food to digest, and that's where the 5th hour your hunger peaks. So it means by 12 o'clock you would have you feel hungry, and that's where you want to eat already. And during that time, naturally, there's not much food available. Only we'll turn to high fat food, high sugar foods, or a lot of processed foods. And that one will, definitely add on to the calories. So what I recommend, if let's say you really, really, want to eat something, is also turn to a healthier option foods. Like if let's say if you're hungry at night, you can just go downstairs, make yourself a cup of tea. If you're the kind that doesn't get affected by tea, or have standby fruits with you, or just drink water, or Milo? You can even have a cup of milk. I would say milk rather than Milo.
Why not Milo?
Because Milo does. I mean, if you look at a healthier option, if you're looking at a healthier option, when you put Milo or milk, then the milk is better.
And you need to take in something just for sake of taking something to feel full. Okay, don't take a lot of meat. Try to take very light food lah. Very, very plain and light. Maybe a bread or something, but not until you fry a ham, make a sausage, fried chicken. If you have like fruit, I think you can take fruit as well.
The other option is to sleep earlier, because studies have shown that if you sleep earlier, definitely it will prevent from weight gain.
I remember one time when I there's one time I gained weight anyway. So every night I when I pass by, when I go back house, right? So I pass by a mak one. So I will take Maggi mee goreng with mata gebal one. Every night, without fail. So that's where I gain weight. I start gaining weight because every night it's like hunger. You hunger with something. You take the Maggi mee goreng. It tastes good, right? So every day you take. And it's not very expensive at those times. Full, but once you get rid of it, you try not to eat supper. It's a habit lah. I think it's a habit. Eating supper is a habit as well. When you get into it, right, it's like every time you eat supper. When you stop for 15 days or 30 days, you get rid of it. It's like a habit.
Yep. That's why it's like the point 2 that we talked today is cultivating a new habit. So if let's say you have a habit of like eating supper at night, now is the perfect time to, 1, sleep earlier. 2 is to change a healthier option of self-suppers.
I think Ceymone, you should come on one of the program. If who feel like having supper, right? So pay a fee to you. They talk to you 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, right? They don't feel like having any food. They just go to sleep. I think
I'll talk to them until they just like want to fall asleep.
Okay, there's one question from Mandip. Thought on balancing diet versus keto diet versus IF. What is IF?
Intermittent fasting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So my comment on that is that not every diet is suitable for everyone. So it really depends on, like when I talked on beginning on your determinants of how your lifestyle is like. If let's say your lifestyle can afford you to have a keto diet, because one, keto diet is not cheap. Yes. So if you're able to afford keto diet and can change your diet and sustain your diet for the longest time, you can go for it. I met people that can sustain a keto diet for more than 5 years already, and I've met people that couldn't sustain a keto diet just for a week. And you have to be sure whether or not, when you start any diet, you have to think and ask yourself whether or not this diet can I sustain this for the rest of my life? If not, definitely there will be an issue called the weight rebound, where you actually gain way more than you lose.
May I know your friend that 5 years keto diet, is he an athlete or is just pure keto?
Just healthy adults. Because keto diet, if let's say you're an athlete, there is studies that does affect your performance.
Oh, okay.
So
it's something like a high fat, low carb, something like that.
Yeah, it really depends. Like sometimes everybody works differently, like physiologically. So you really have to play around what kind of food actually works well for you and what kind of food doesn't. So especially for weight loss, that's why you would need an actual dietitian to be there for you to guide you. Because sometimes when you're like planning your own diet on weight loss, you're not sure whether this is actually working for you. So actually having a dietitian or nutritionist by you, that we can validate whether or not your actions you're on the right track in your journey of weight loss or like performance as well.
I remember the last conversations that you mentioned that keto diet is not fit to everyone. They need to try the errors. So far, there's no method that you can test the person is suitable for keto diet or not. So far, there's none yet, but there is ongoing a trend happening, I think, in low carbs, those kind of things. They even have books. I even bought a magazine talk about keto diet from Taiwan, I think, last time. But yeah, cool. Okay, one more questions. Awani asks, okay, is there any difference between Milo and chocolate? I mean, chocolate, which is better? It's the same, right?
Well, my advice is whenever you want to buy Milo or chocolate, you have to look at the back, the nutrition facts. So usually Milo is high in sugar. They're usually high in sugar. So if you're looking for a healthy alternative, look for cocoa powder. You can actually, when you go grocery shopping, you can buy a pack of Milo, and you can check a pack of Milo and check a pack of cocoa powder. And you compare in terms of calorie wise, what's the difference? In terms of the total sugar content, what's the difference? And you can weigh and can see yourself, okay, which one is a healthier option for you? definitely taste-wise, Milo would definitely taste nicer because it's sweeter. But if you want to, change your taste buds, like what I recommended in my third tip is to, get accustomed to milder taste. You can always try cocoa powder. To me, I drink cocoa powder with milk. So it's equally nice to me with Milo.
If you don't tell it's a Milo, they won't know, okay? They trick it, it's a Milo. Okay, so it's from since young, okay? I don't know your generation. My generation is, when I was primary school, right? There always is a Milo truck there. Trying to tell me.
Yeah, I had that too.
Drink Milo is good. Drink Milo, feel happy. So when I grow up, when I went for a race event, there's a Milo truck there. Always there. It's my childhood memory. I'm not sure your school got Milo truck or not.
Mine, primary school, every time there'll be a day, there's like a Milo truck with them. We all line up to get a free cup of Milo.
Yeah. So yeah, that's childhood stuff, kind of stuff.
But
anyway,
for Milo, right? Or just to add on to Milo, they actually do have healthier options for Milo where they have the high fiber ones. So that one is not bad. You can choose for that option. Yeah.
High fiber, but the sugar level, is it still the same?
It's quite high.
Quite high. Oh, okay. Get it. Yeah. So again, I think healthy food or non-healthy food is options. I don't think there's a lot of difference in terms of price. It's just of how you're going to choose wisely, especially if you really care about your body, your diet, your health, and your families. I get you need to choose wisely. And I think Malaysia, most of the times when we eat food, right, we tend to open a TV, then we eat the food. It's like naturally we eat something, but basically we don't know what we are having.
Yeah, you wouldn't know what you're eating. So it's very important to be mindful of what you eat and the choices that you make. If let's say you really want to sit down there and watch in front of TV, because sometimes if you're eating alone, definitely you want to have a company. Before you bring the food on the plate, prepare the portion size correctly. So it's like a fistful of meat, half of your plate is vegetables, and a quarter of it is your carbohydrates. Just put it there, and then you can eat while you're watching. So at least before you dive into the screen, you already know that, okay, this is enough for me, and that's all.
Yeah. Okay, remember the comment NutraFit to claim the free main meal portion set. So so if you want to get that, please comment NutraFit. So what's the last tips you want to give to the user to during the MCO? I mean, really the last tips for them to know that.
My last tip is is
read
to
food
be.
label. Always buy things.
I think I'll just want to wrap up the 3 key messages that I gave today. One is to change your diet quality. 2 is to cultivate a new habit, whereas it's not necessary for your diet, but it could be just even for your own, body or mind as well. And lastly is to, get accustomed to the new taste of your own home cooked food, because definitely there are healthier options, and be creative with it, because this is the best time to test your chef skills and be creative in whatever you're gonna do.
Yes. So far, do you hear any outside? I heard a lot of people went for the chef class to cook this and that. Is there any cooking class that teach you how to cook healthy diets kind of stuff? Have you heard any in Malaysia?
There is some available, but I forgot the names already. But there is available out there. You can always search but now because of this whole lockdown, you can always search online for one healthy recipes, or like go on YouTube, search on like cooking videos. That would be a good option. I believe people out there are also sharing out what they're cooking and their recipes. So you can always ask them, and they'll definitely share it with you, and you can just try it out.
So yeah, what I cook, I eat. So I think it's out there. I think the last tip I want to give is please, if you're really not sure, you really want someone to help you, you need a facilitate, or you can send us a text. We'll connect you to Ceymone, and she's a dietitian. Okay. She have a team behind to help you for nutrition and also weight loss program as well.
Yes.
Okay, cool. Lastly, please comment NutraFit and claim the free gift. Okay. So today we have a bit technical issue, so we start late, but nevertheless, we'll be end late as well. Okay, but right,
so, and I hope everyone enjoyed this session, and there's a few takeaway messages that you can gain from this. I hope this session was valuable for everyone.
Okay, there's a few more questions. 2 questions only. Is it okay to have chocolate Cadbury's to like supper? What do you think?
Like I mentioned just now, usually when people are going for supper, they always turn to high fat and high sugar foods because it's easily available. So usually chocolates, especially like Cadbury's or the ones in the packets, are high in sugar as well. But I think if you let's say you eat that one small little piece, it's fine. But if you're trying to take the whole bar, then you need to think about that.
Yeah, we mentioned perhaps we should do some online nutrition cooking class. Hey, Ceymone, you know how to cook, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. So I think we will discuss offline this.
Sure.
Discuss offline. But yeah, you need to bring the cameras to your kitchen, okay? So yeah. Okay, once again, thank you, Ceymone, for your time, and happy to talk to you. I know you since many years, but this is the first time we talk online. Okay, so remember to comment the NutraFit, okay?
Yeah, comment below and follow us on Instagram. If you have any questions, just feel free to also leave a message at RFA, or you can just drop a DM at NutraFit as well. We were happy to help you to answer all your queries.
Yes. Okay, thanks, Mandip. Okay, next time we'll ask a Grab to grab some pizza from your house, Mandip. Okay, since you know how to do pizza. I like tomato favorite, by the way. Okay, thank you guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.